boys and girls. Are you ready for a bedtime story? We're all ready. Have you cleaned your teeth and got your pyjamas or your nightie on? If you haven't, you've time to go and do that. Just put me on pause and Teddy and I and my cat Dougal will be waiting till you come back. Great. Today we've got the best story of all, our Christmas story, and it's about the very first Christmas. Are you ready, Teddy, for the story? Teddy's ready. Are you going to listen, Dougal, or are you going to be playing with the Christmas tree? We'll have to see whether he listens or not. Well, here we go. Here's our special story. It started a long time ago, and there was a lady called Mary and a man called Joseph, and they'd fallen in love and they were going to get married. They were very excited. And then, when Mary was on her own, an angel appeared and told her that she was going to have a baby. God had said she was going to have a baby, and she had to call him Jesus. Oh, my goodness, that was so special. Well, when Joseph found out about this, he was really worried. He didn't know whether he should marry Mary or not. But then an angel appeared to Joseph and said, "Yep, Joseph, God thinks you should get married to Mary and look after her and look after this very special baby that's going to be called Jesus." So Joseph and Mary did what God had asked of them. But at this time, the king said everybody had to go back to where they were born and pay some taxes to the king. So Mary and Joseph had to go to a place called Bethlehem. But they didn't have cars in those days, so poor Mary had to go all the way on a donkey. I don't know if you've ever been for a ride on a donkey, maybe at the seaside. It's all right for a few minutes, but it's not very comfortable. Teddy's never been for a ride on a donkey. Have you ever been for a ride on a donkey, Dougal? No, I don't think cats ride on donkeys, do they? But poor Mary had to go all that way, and Joseph looked after her, and eventually they got to Bethlehem. But loads of people were going to Bethlehem, and Mary needed to lie down because a baby was coming. What were they going to do? They went to the hotels there and they said, "Have you got a bed?" And all the people with the hotels, they called them inns, they said, "No, sorry, we're fully booked up, there's no spaces." And then one innkeeper was very kind and said, "Round the back I've got a stable where the animals sleep. Would you like to go there?" And Joseph said, "Oh, that's very kind of you. Yes, please. I don't think I'd like to sleep in a stable where the animals go. Would you? Do you like that, Dougal?" I don't think Dougal would mind. Me and Teddy wouldn't like to go, though. But anyway, that's where Mary and Joseph went. And in the stable there was cows and sheep, and the donkey laid down. But something wonderful happened that very night. The very special baby that God said would be born was born. And Mary and Joseph did what God had asked, and they called him Jesus. Whatever's going to happen next? Well, in the fields, not too far away, there were some shepherds looking after their sheep, and suddenly an angel appeared, and the shepherds were really frightened. They thought, "What's going on here?" And the angel said, "Don't be afraid. God's son has been born, the King of all kings, and you can go and see him. He's been born and he's in a stable in Bethlehem." And then suddenly lots more angels appeared, and the shepherds thought, "Oh, we'll have to go and find this baby." So they did what the angel had told them, and they went and they found the stable, and they gave Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus some presents of their sheep, and they went and told everybody in the town what had happened. Then there was 3 wise men. You can see they've all got crowns on. They were kings, and they used to look up at all the stars, and they saw this huge star, bigger than they'd ever seen before, and they thought there must be something very special under that star. Now, they didn't have donkeys and they didn't have cars, but they had camels, and you can see all 3 of them were following the star to see where it was leading them. And eventually they saw the star had stopped, and it was right over the manger, and they went in and they saw baby Jesus, the King of all kings, with his mummy Mary and Joseph. and they brought some special presents. Have you done about it at school? Can you remember what they were? They brought gold, frankincense and myrrh. What a very special story. So that was the very first Christmas. And so at Christmas time, on Christmas Day, it's Jesus' birthday. And when it's your birthday, I bet, or if you're very lucky, I bet sometimes you may have had a party. You might have had a cake with some candles to blow out. Well, do you know what? When it's baby Jesus' birthday, or it's not a baby anymore now, but when it's Jesus' birthday, people all over the world celebrate the fact that it's his birthday. And they put lights up outside the houses, and they put Christmas trees up like Teddy and I have done, and they celebrate the fact that God gave us all a very, very special gift of his son, Jesus. And those of you who come to Kids Club know that we can ask Jesus to live in our hearts, and that God loves us very much, and that he will never leave us, and he'll always be there for us to look after us. Now, we know that this year has been very different with this horrible virus that there's been, and there's not as much money around and not as much money for Christmas presents. So it may be that we don't get what we were hoping for at Christmas, but we can still celebrate, because the best present of all is Jesus. And we can all receive that gift of Jesus. We can all receive the love from God, because God promises us that he loves us and that we're really special to him. So I hope you can snuggle down tonight in your bed, and if things are worrying you, you can talk to God, and you can snuggle up, knowing that God's there with you, and that he loves you, and he's going to be with you all the days of your life. And you can really enjoy this Christmas that we've got this year, knowing what Christmas is all about and why we're having a great big party, because it's Jesus' birthday. So I hope you can snuggle down tonight and sleep well.